Before this video starts, I just want to say a couple things. First off, this is the best Slayer guide you will ever find on YouTube. And I am fully confident that this is the best guide you'll ever find because I waited weeks to make this until I knew like everything about the game, everything new that was added to make this video. So it is up to date and guaranteed the best possible starter guide. Now, I said starter guide. Originally, this video was going to be a full-on like full guide, everything about the game in chronological order, but the video was just getting too long. I could not sit there making a 40-minute video. So what I did was, this is going to be a starter guide to start you off in the game, basically get you walking, and then I'm going to drop more videos about other stuff in the game that you should know about. That being said, there will be timestamps in the description of the video for every single segment, and this video is made in chronological order. I made sure to put the whole guide into chronological order, basically step by step, what you're going to do from the moment you load in to, you know, by the end, you should be ready to go and start doing missions. Alright, so the first part of this guide is going to be getting waived, so Iqbal, could you please explain how exactly you get waived?
What do you want me to say, man? Like,
Couple methods that you can do. One of them is you can just pay for it. So I'll put up a link. Basically, if you go to the group and click on experiences, there's like a new experience that they added. It's called Subwave, and you can go in there and you can pay for access to the game. Just to clarify this a little bit more, if you get waived without paying for it, then if you go inactive for 3 days, you lose it. Like if 3 days go by without you playing the game once, you lose wave. But if you buy it, you keep it permanently. The second method is going to be just waiting until they push out Rex. Usually they push out Rex every month, like once a month. And the last method is going to be having a content creator who is doing wave spot giveaways. And don't ask me for them, I'm not clouded enough for that, but people like Burra or YPC Nate, they might be able to do things like that. And yeah, that's pretty much for the first part, getting waived. So now I'm going to be explaining Innates, and this is important because it kind of leads into the next part that I'm going to talk about, which is picking your breathing and knowing what build to go. So basically, when you spawn in, you have 4 options of an innate, and I'll explain what it does in a bit. So you have innate con, innate technique, innate intelligence, innate strength. So yeah, it gives you 25% increased scaling on the specific stat. And if you get innate technique, that means you want to go a breathing that has plus limb. If you get innate strength, that means you want to go a breathing that has plus damage. And if you get innate con, that means you can go anything you want. And if you get innate intelligence, that means you have to wipe the build. And now I will explain a way that you can save the build if you really don't want to wipe that badly. However, it's not that easy. It's going to take a lot of time, and I'm talking about like 50 hours worth of time. So most of the time, if you get innate intelligence, you're better off just wiping the build. I just wanted to mention this, so the next part of the video is a way more simple. If you are an aggressive player, you want to go a breathing that has plus damage. If you are a passive, more calculated, and better player, you want to go a breathing that has plus limb. Limb requires you to play perfect for long periods of time, but it also has almost no counterplay, while burst has a lot of counterplay, and you can kind of kill people in 4 seconds if they don't parry. One thing I forgot to mention about breathings is the fact that they all have a unique passive that you get at breathing level 25. And if you want to know what passive each breathing has, just go check the Trello. And while we're here, let's talk about love breathing and sound breathing. So basically, these two are legacy breathings. If you want to be able to pick these to get to level 151 and wipe, and on your wipe, you will be able to select these breathings. And also, there is one more breathing that I have to talk over, and it's going to be breathless. So breathless, if you do final selection and you don't pick anything, you get breathless. And yeah, this is breathless right here. I really would not recommend going breathless because this is a friend's account. He went breathless and he quit the game. So yeah, I would not recommend going breathless because you will not have a good time. Apparently it's getting reworked, but if you go breathless right now, you're not going to win any fights at all. So yeah, keep that in mind. Alright, so we spoke about your breathing, we spoke about your passive, we spoke about burst versus limb, and we spoke about your innate. All these things in hand, you should have your breathing selected, and now it is time for final selection. So I'm going to be showing you guys all the paths to final selection from every single area. Well, actually only 2 areas, because honestly, you shouldn't really be getting lost. You're going to spawn at Tokyo. So this is Tokyo right here. This is where you're going to spawn at, and from here, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get to final selection. It's actually pretty fast. Hold up, pause the video. I forgot to talk about PD. That's the one thing I forgot to talk about in this entire guide, and I'm gonna go and tackle that right now. Every single day at 3:35 EST in the morning, go translate that to your time zone. PD, aka Permadeath, will have a 33% chance to start. Every single day, this chance gets higher until eventually, after 3 days, if a PD hasn't happened yet, then it will be guaranteed the following day. If you're wondering what the point of playing in a PD is basically if you are level 80, you can go in there and wipe. Or if you want to be ballsy, you can queue in PD and get 3 times rewards, 3 times EXP, 3 times loot from travel missions. And yeah, that right there is final selection, and I'm also going to be showing how to get here from Forest. So yeah, basically, if you are confused, all you want to do is server hop. Like, let's say you're at Forest right now. If you server hop in any, like, area, you get sent back to the spawn. So if you are in a different location in Tokyo, just server hop and you'll get sent right back to spawn. Alright, we are back at spawn, and you're just gonna go ahead and take this route, and yeah, it's pretty simple. India, we are now here, and that's just going to be Tokyo and Forest. If you're in one of the other locations, then yeah, I don't know how you ended up there, but most people, they should either be in Forest or Tokyo, and yeah, to get a final selection. Alright, so now we're in final selection, fighting for our lives. How do I pass? This is going to be a pretty quick segment. To pass final selection, you need 15 kills or assist, and to get an assist, you just have to hit them 2 times. That's it. You know that you got credit if your money goes up, so just pay attention to your money. But like I said, just get 2 hits. A lot of people fail final selection because they get greedy, they go for more hits, and I'm telling you, you don't need more than 2 hits, so keep that in mind, and that's how you pass. Remember, 15 kills, 2 hits only, kills or assist, look at your money to track your kills, and that's it. Pretty simple. So the next part of this guide is going to be crafting, things like that, and basically to craft, you're just going to want to come here, and you're going to use these materials, and I'm going to show you guys how to craft everything right now. Alright, so now I'm going to be showing you guys how to add Nitrin, Affinity, and Siphon to your weapon, and how to repair it as well. So you're just going to need these ores right here. You're going to need 2 Scarlet ores, and you're also going to need 2 Crimson Iron Sand. This is what they look like. You're just going to need 2 of each, and this is going to be enough to go ahead and add something to your weapon. If you want affinity, it's going to be a gem. If you want nitrin, it's going to be nitrin. If you want quality, which I really don't recommend, please don't go quality, it's super bad. To go quality, you're going to need 1 sharpening, 1 heavy steel, and 1 bamboo stick, bamboo stone. This is how you do it. This is what it looks like. So yeah, once again, for nitrin, it's going to be a nitrin stone with 2 of these. For affinity, it's going to be 2 of these with a gem. And for quality, which increases your... Well, I'll explain what they do in a bit. But yeah, this is how it is. You know, it's going to look like this. To repair your sword, you're going to need 3 scarlet ores on top of these 2 right here. So I think it's pretty simple enough. If you're confused, just look at these pictures. They can be in any order. So yeah, just rewind the video if you're confused. I really don't think it's that hard to understand, but honestly, when I first found out about this, I was a little bit confused. So if you have any questions, just ask them in the comments. So now I'm going to be explaining what each effect does. What? Alright, so now I'm going to be explaining what each status effect does. Nitrin applies anti-heal at the max amount of 210%. It's going to be 8-second anti-heal. But affinity gives you bonus damage, and I'm pretty sure at the max it's like 70% bonus damage. So yeah, affinity is around like a 70% or 70-60% at max. It's pretty good on hybrid builds. I wouldn't recommend it on anything else. Siphon, this will increase your blood damage, and yes, it does make a big difference. Balancers have said that it makes a really fat difference. However, some pillars say that they don't believe in Siphon at all, and affinity is better. But it's up to you who you want to believe. Do you want to believe the pillars, or do you want to believe the balancers? Yeah, that pretty much summarizes all the crafting stuff. Well, besides quality will increase 3 things. It increases the durability of the blade, the M1 damage of the blade, and the posture damage of the blade. However, please do not go quality. Quality is really bad. It's like super bad, so don't go quality. Alright, this next part of the guide is going to be stats. Stats are something very important in Demon Hunter, and they are often gatekept. So I'm going to be trying to go over this the best way that I can. I'm not going to be giving you guys a build. I'm just going to be explaining what the stats do. If you guys want to build, go to the Discord and get rolled as a Slayer, and then look at #Slayer Guide. That channel has a lot of builds. It has like a build for every single breeding. There's like a build for stone. There's a build for flame. There's a build for, you know, everything. And these builds are made by pillars who play the game a lot. So that being said, the only thing that I'm going to do is explain what every single stat does. Dexterity will put 2.65% into all your stats when you invest it. Constitution is how you increase your HP. Technique is how you increase your limb damage. Basically, the damage that you do to a demon's limbs, like their arms, their legs, etc, etc. Technique, I just explained that. Intelligence increases your ability to use moves. The more intelligence you have, the more moves you can use. As you can see, the bar fills up to like halfway when I use a move because of how much intelligence I have. So yeah, intelligence if you want to spam. And then strength is going to be how you do green bar damage. So to put it simply, because this is a little bit hard to wrap your head around at first, to put it simply, strength is something in this game that's also referred to as burst. Burst is involved in taking down this bar of a demon's HP, the green bar, right? Because demons have 2 choices. They can either invest into blood bar or into green bar. This is for demons only. If you go strength, that means you want to focus on their green bar. If you go technique, you're focusing on their blood bar. Depending on the demon that you fight, one might be better than the other, but honestly, that's something that I'd rather explain for a different video, because it's a lot to go over, and I think it's pretty easy to wrap your head around once you start playing. Right, so this is another part that I have to explain, but custom moves. How do you make your custom moves in this game? Basically, you want to click M, you want to press M, click on your breathing, and boom, custom moves. You can combine up to 3 moves, and it can be a completely custom animation. Again, there are a lot of build-based things in this game, but once again, if you want to build, if you want to know what custom moves are the best, I would really recommend creating your own custom moves. That's what I would say, because you might find something broken. But if you don't want to take the risk, then you can always go ahead and check out Slayer Guide, and you can find out what moves are the best, or you know, what they personally use. Alright, so this is easily one of the most important parts of the video, most important part of your progression, and it's going to be breathing levels, where to train, and what they do. So in this game, your breathing level effects basically your passive. You get your passive at level 25 breathing. Breathing level is also connected to obtaining basically everything. Like everything is somehow connected to your breathing level, which is why this is so important. Alright, so let's begin. You want to do 20k trainings until breathing level 15. Then you want to go ahead and do 40k trainings until breathing level 25. And keep in mind, every single 5 breathing levels, you will have to do gore trainings. So basically, you can just pick whichever one you want. So what I would recommend for these, because they don't follow the same rules as these ones right here. So I would basically recommend you do 20k, and when the XP starts feeling like it's taking too long, then you step it up a notch, you start doing the 40ks, and when the 40k starts feeling, I'm not getting enough EXP, you do the 60ks. I tested this myself. You can literally do the 60k from the very start and there'll be no issues. However, that's way too much EXP. So like I said, start it off slow and then just tune it up a little notch when you're not feeling the EXP you're currently getting. Alright, so for the next trainings that you need to do, they will be located at Forest. So I'm basically going to make my way over there. Alright, once you teleport, you're just going to want to server hop, and that way you're going to be put in the spawn area. Alright, so now we're at Forest, and I'm going to be showing you guys where you can find the 60k training. So basically, you should spawn right around here, then you just leave. And by the way, I think there's other 60k trainings at Plains, but I'm just going to be showing you guys what I did. So basically, you want to walk around this little pathway right here, and you'll see like a pop-up for the training. So this one's 80k. Okay, let's just keep going. And there it is, the 60k. You want to do the 60k trainings until breathing level 35. Once you hit breathing level 35, you're going to want to go ahead and do the 80k training. So they also happen to be right here. And you want to do these until breathing level 45. And apparently there's supposed to be 100k and 120k trainings, but they are currently not in the game. So yeah, basically this is going to be your final training. This is what you're going to be doing for the rest of your trainings. For the trainings value, I just went right off the Trello because the prices and stuff changed. So I decided to go off the Trello. So if anything is wrong, just blame the Trello, not me. So yeah. But I can confirm this is basically the end game training that you do want to do after breathing level 45 until forever, pretty much. So now on to progression, main progression. To progress, it's pretty simple. Just press V, click travel. You can progress with 2 other people, so if you have 2 friends that you want to play with, just go ahead and group together. Basically, you would have your friends next to you, then you would press V and press travel together, basically at the same area, and then the bird will teleport you guys to the same mission at the same time. Also, there is a little party system here. It doesn't really do anything besides like show you the location of your teammate. It shows like a little marker on them. That's all it does. Alright, so this is something that I want to talk in high detail about. It's going to be events. These are easily the most important thing to your progression. If you don't do events, your progression goes from being a couple hours to maybe a couple days. You want to make sure that you do these events. They give insane EXP, insane materials, and this is basically how you make your progression bearable, because this game has really bad progression and events are pretty much the only way to soften that up. So let's talk about how to do events. Events spawn for me every single even hour in a server that matches the requirements. For it to start, I'm pretty sure you need a 1-2 ratio demons to slayers inside of the server for it to start. Basically, we'll basically have text on the screen telling you what times they start, but to give you a little bit of a reference, for me they start at 2 p.m. EST, so transfer that to your time zone, and basically there, and then every single 2 hours from there, an event will start. A little method that you can do is just have the game on one and then have the Discord on the other and be staring at the events channel, and the second that you see an event, you just, you go ahead and join it. Like I said, events are easily the most important thing in this game, so you want to make sure that you don't miss them by any means. Right, so this is going to be the end of the guide. This is why I said that resetting your stuff would be so hard. This is why I was talking about events being so important, because you need event points. So you get 1 event point per event win, and events start every single 2 hours. So you can imagine just how crazy things get, especially with the prices on the stuff in the shop. And you can also buy truffles. Again, resets your stats. Now, let me just talk about some other stuff. I'm gonna blitz some things on the list that I might as well talk about. Perks are something that you can get at the end of a mission or after killing an NPC demon. You can only have one perk at a time, and if you get a new perk, you can choose to replace it with your current one. The progression in this game has a mix of PvP and PvE, doing quests and stuff like that, and at max rank you will become Kinoue, and now I'm going to be explaining how to obtain Sagoku or Pillar. The way you obtain Pillar is by being ranked number 50, top 50 at least, top 50 or higher, and then you have to wait for the current Pillar to wipe, and then you can just grip a player demon, become a Pillar. For Sagoku, you will have to beg or buy it off a Pillar, or be friends with the Pillar. Sagoku gives a 10% buff, Pillar gives a 47% buff, and I'm talking about stats. At level 100, you will obtain your Surge, which is basically a whole mode. Basically, by playing well, you can get your Surge. But of course, you first must be level 100. If you made it to the end, then you are really dedicated to this game, and I wish you luck, because holy, this video got way longer than I wanted it to be, but it couldn't be helped. I mean, it was a whole guide. I was going all out, saying as much as I could, and I even left stuff out to just make it separate videos because of how long the video was getting. But yeah, that's it for this video, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one.